Good morning, everybody. My name is Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds, and this is the Rumour Mill. This is One Leeds. Welcome back to the latest video. This video, as always, is sponsored by Shop GNO, The Job Match Group, and Match Bingo. Let's get into it. First up, The Job Match Group. Whether you're looking for your next big gig or just browsing, The Job Match Group has niche job sites made just for you. F1, retail, security, and loads more. They're about matching the right person to the right job. Make sure you check them out if you're ready to level up your career. Then we've got Shop GNO, an exciting new e-commerce site where you can grab exclusive deals and discounts. Right now, One Leeds has an affiliate link just below where you can score a 25 quid membership for free, unlocking special rates and benefits. You can even list your own shop on there with way better rates than Amazon, eBay, and Vinted. They've got some Leeds bits and some general bits now and launching soon, plus some great prizes just for signing up. This is all powered by a massive Leeds United fan looking to make waves in the online shopping world. So check them out and support your local. And don't forget our mates at Match Bingo. They're smashing it with footy fun. You can get 5 bingo cards for the price of 4 through One Leeds, and you can even deposit just £5 at a time to join the action. It's a big chance to win whilst having a blast with your fellow Leeds United friends. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Check the links in the description, and let's get on with the video. Hello, everybody. My name is Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds, and this is the Rumour Mill. What's going on in your world? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. As I've mentioned already, I'm just caring of you guys. We're on the way to 50K. I'm not sure how many more people we are off 50,000, but guys, listen, that would be an amazing feat for me, for the channel, for everybody who's taken part. I know for a lot of you guys, we are 60 off. My good gosh, we're 60 off. Do us a favor, slap a like on the video. It really helps with the algorithm. Slap a subscription on the channel as well. Thank you so much for all your continued support. Can see a lot of the regulars here. Can see MW, can see Stripper, can see Tommy K, can see Kev Abbott, can see My Name is Tao. Can see all of you in the section below. Today, this is one of 2 videos. We are going to be doing the 3 things that we learned after Daniel Farke's press conferencione, which should be live at around about 1:30. For you guys who can't watch it, you're at work, you're doing whatever, and you just want a little bit of a snippet on what's going on, tune into One Leeds. I'll let you know. So, yeah, make sure you're doing that as well. So, morning, Connor. Morning, Connor. How's it going? Morning, Connor, from sunny Cornwall. Morning, all. What the F are you wearing, Connor? This, my friend, is a training top, an Asics training top from the 95-96 season. Are you even a Leeds United fan, is my question. That's my question to you. And you might not be. Good morning, evening to the One Leeds Brigade. What are we realistically expecting for this weekend? Yeah, let us know in the comment section below. Morning, Connor. Or is it my little leprechaun? Am I getting flack for this absolute piece of art right here? Cheers, Leeds Lens. Good to see you in here, mate. Tenacious G says, morning, Connor. Loving the Ouija top. Right, let's move on from my top. Are you joking? Are we seriously not rating this top? My God. There we go. Right, okay, guys, let's get into your latest Leeds United news anyway, shall we? It's just going to be a brief one this morning, but we have got a fair bit to get through, so let's get into it. According to some reports this morning, we're going to involve Brighton in this as well, everybody. Pascal Struijk is going to be their #1 target if Van Hecke does leave. There's been a lot of rumours around Van Hecke leaving, obviously Brighton's centre-back, to go to a European giant. He looks like an unbelievable defender, has been now for the best part of 18 months. And apparently, if he was to leave, Brighton are going to be looking at someone like Pascal Struijk to come in to their lineup. Now, we heard from Pascal yesterday that he's very happy at Leeds United, wanted to play in the Premier League with Leeds United, but we know that, you know, there's hierarchies, and still it feels like there's hierarchies within the Premier League. And apparently, if Van Hecke is to move on, he is one of Brighton's #1 targets as well. Alongside that, if Brentford do lose Nathan Collins, they are going to be looking at Pascal Struijk as well. And what do we know as well? Tottenham are consistently interested in this guy. So maybe there's going to be some moving parts there. But Pascal Struijk, we've heard his interview this morning, and maybe that sparked a little bit of the news stories when it comes to these clubs. And is it real? Is it not real? Guys, this is the rumour mill. This is not the consolidation confirmation mill. It's all rumours that are out there at this moment in time. But it would be interesting. It would fit a lot of these clubs' moulds in terms of how Pascal plays. You know, if they are to lose someone like Nathan Collins, Brentford, Pascal comes in, slots in straight away, fits that mould. They've been very, very good aerially, like Collins is. Fits that mold as well. Have been very good on the ball. Same with Van Hecker at Brighton as well. So, yeah, and Tottenham are also looking at that with the likes of Thomas Frank. There is the link there with Brentford as well, Collins, etc. So, yeah, it feels like there's going to be a pyramid. And if things do happen, dominoes wise, if things do happen, don't be surprised in seeing Pascal Struijk in the remit of names of which Leeds United might move on in due course. Not due course as in being imminently, but you know, in the summer months or whatever. We always mention on this channel that when a player's stock is high, that is when you should sell. But with Pascal, I go a little bit against the grain with that one, everybody, because we love him so much. Okay, depends how much we get for him, because we're going to have to replace him. Leeds have to start valuing their players higher, like other clubs do. Struijk 50 million. Michael says 15 mil seems low for Pascal. Would want between 20 and 25. I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. I think it's so important that that if you are to sell your assets, I mean, look, he's got 2 years left on his deal right now. I think Leeds need to be offering him a new contract. I think that needs to happen right now. You know, or at least, I mean, Ampadu's not got long left on his deal as well. Leeds need to start having these sort of, you know, contractual obligations, hopefully with these players put in place. You know, yeah, you are going to sign, aren't you? Yep, okay, we just need to get the formalities sorted out, the final bits, and then we'll get that sorted. The P's and Q's, and let's move on with that one. But yeah, I'd be absolutely elated if Pascal signed a new contract. It just means more value for Leeds as well. As if that contract goes down, Pascal's value just annoyingly does depreciate. Hey Connor, where'd you get your blue Packard Bell jumper from the watch long versus Wolves? Please, I got that with Frank's Football, mate. I think it was. Morning, Connor. Your videos keep me going on a night shift. Top man, really appreciate that, mate. 30 million for Pascal. I agree with you there. Tau. I think that's a decent valuation. This is mad this morning. There are reports out there suggesting that 9 clubs, 5 which haven't been mentioned, 9 are working on the signing of Illan Meslier in January. One more time, 9 clubs. Crazy. And these aren't small clubs as well. We spoke yesterday about Jan Sommer being replaced by Stefan Ortega and Illan Meslier as a bit of a duo. We also spoke in the summer months about certain clubs being interested, but that interest appears to be maintaining, according to a few reports out in respected countries, France as well. You know, Italy, apparently there's a few clubs looking at Illan Meslier, not just Inter Milan, but these are sort of the 4 mainstays who are apparently looking at him as a January move. Inter Milan, Rangers, Lorient, formerly Illan Meslier's club as well, and Valencia, who don't appear to be dying down. That is crazy. And 5 others as well who haven't been mentioned in said report that I read this morning. And Illan Meslier, apparently Leeds are going to do, in this specific report, Leeds are going to be doing everything they can to offload in January. Now, that is really, really, really important. And when we're speaking about players that we will speak about just a little bit later on in the rumour mill, is his valuation going to be down? 100%. Leeds United should have sold this guy to Marseille when his stock was high and we rejected bids for apparently reported 15 plus. Ridiculous. I mean, some people were calling him the best in the world, which the best goalkeepers in the world, the best goalkeeper in the championship, which he never was. And that was just pure heart and emotion, wasn't it? When it came to our club doing really well and you having this guy in the net, which means that he must be doing well as well, which isn't the case, you know. But yeah, apparently Leeds are doing everything they can to offload him in January. I think that's really important that we do that. As I say, stock isn't going to be high. Leeds have definitely made a loss on what Illan was in terms of value to what he is now, to what 100%. So would they get 5 million for him at a push? Yeah, but if there is 9 clubs in for him, Leeds could be at a negotiation point at least where they can battle those clubs against each other. And this is a really good thing for Leeds, especially if these clubs are willing to go to a certain level of of not just inquiring, but bidding for Illan Meslier. If we can actually get a bidding war going, that can maybe rise his value up to 10 million quid, which then means that Leeds United have PSR wiggle room going into January. We maybe have a deal already sorted, but then another club comes in and Leeds are moving round and getting bids in for Meslier and one value on top of the other. And then we're able to sell him for 10 plus million. And then in the latter 2 weeks of the window in January, you can go out and get an acquisition or two. Apparently, Leeds United, we reported this the other day, are looking at 2 January scoops. So this would be huge for Leeds. If they can get good value, if they can make profit on the books as well. Bear in mind, this guy was brought in for 5 million quid. This will look good on the accounts for Leeds United. That would be unbelievable. But said report this morning is saying 9 clubs, 9 are apparently in for his signature. And Leeds are looking to push him out in January in the most respectful way possible. So we're going to let this marinate, everybody. Let us know in the comment section below, one Leeds, what you think on that one. Lenza said, regardless of how good we feel Meslier is, his CV does look good for his age. Very good point, mate. 200 plus appearances. Michael Watson says, morning, one Leaders. Hope we're all having a fantastic, amazing Thursday. Top man, Mike. Smash a like. Fantastic content. Keep it up, top man. Meslier at Rangers with Russell Martin in charge. Could be comedy gold. I hadn't thought of that, Chris. I like that, though. I like that. Lee's in here as well. Mez could do a good job for Sheffield United. Cooper been poor. Gone backwards this season. One season wonder. Steve Connell says, Connor, thank you for all these vids. You, Gabe, Brownie, KG, and Jer are all elite content creators. So knowledgeable and refreshing. No PC or agendas. Some channels have become too much. Cheers, man. Steve, thank you so much, mate. And listen, I've got a hell of a lot of respect for all of those people who you've just put in that sentence there, mates. Thank you so much, buddy. Rubbish Connor, he was voted Team of the Year by peers. Wow, Michael. So he's... Woo. Okay, fair enough, man. It's all about opinions, buddy. All about opinions, buddy. Rubbish Connor, he was voted Team of the Year by peers and journalists. Leeds fan wore his back before his form dipped. I wouldn't agree with that, Michael. I would say his form had dipped probably for the past 3-4 years. I think in the Premier League, he was woeful. I know he had a bad defence in front of him, but there was so many individual errors, so many near post problems, so many long shots that went through him, so many balls that were put into the area that were dropped. Leeds should have got rid of him in the summer, which Marseille were interested in him, in my opinion, mate. In the summer, going into the championship, we'd have got a good value from there. His stock was high. It's what we always talk about on the Room Mill. Stock being high, you've got to sell. That's why I mentioned Joel Peru earlier. And a lot of people didn't like that, which is fine. It's all about, discourse, debate, and dialogue and all that sort of stuff over here. But no, I would have got rid of him then. I think he's had a good spell with Leeds for one season, maybe even for half a season. I think the rest of it is debatable. I think he's for me at Leeds United, even in this ecosystem that we all survive in, which is Leeds United's ecosystem. I don't think he's ever been good enough for me. I think he showed glimpses of it under Bielsa, but I still think there was mistakes in there. So yeah, if it was voted for by his peers, fair enough. This is my subjective opinion. I don't think he's ever been good enough, and we've had him for too long. But what we have managed to do is accrue a little bit of value for him in terms of just bolstering up those appearances. And I still think at a top club, he could maybe a top club in Europe where the pace is a little bit slower. And I do think that he could maybe put on that number 2 shirt or number 3 shirt. That's mine. But has he ever had talent? Of course he's had talent. Yeah. I just think there's the fundamentals of being a goalkeeper, of which he's never been able to really develop in terms of handling, in terms of being a presence at the back, in terms of being vocal, in terms of sometimes these things aren't quantitative. You can't measure them. They're intangibles. But what I would say about Illan Meslier is there's been too many holes in his game for too long, and there shouldn't be holes in his game at 25. But as a goalkeeper, that's young, and a lot of clubs around Europe might think that. So yeah. Morning, Con. Hi, Knox. I don't think necessarily it's form dipped. I don't. Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that. There's a conversation there as well. Okay, Tyler Adams. This is getting into the weekends. Oh, how are we going to feel about this? One Leaders. Let me know in the chat below. When he left Leeds, okay, I wasn't, and this is me being hypercritical, which is hilarious. I was never fully convinced on Tyler Adams. Fully convinced. I thought he was a battler. I thought he was someone who would give his all for the club. I thought he was obviously captain material. But I remember me and Gabe having this chat very, very early on. And I said to Gabe, Ampadu's better than him. Ampadu's better for me than, I would say, controversial. I would say Ampadu is the best CDM out of Adams and Phillips, even at his decent stage for Leeds. God, that's going to get me a few, isn't it? That's going to get me a few. I've gone for a few nibbles. I actually haven't gone for a few nibbles there. That's a genuine opinion. I think so. That's a bit of a discourse. Maybe put that in the comment section below. Don't shout at me. But I think Tyler Adams was a destroyer. I think he's very, very good at breaking up play. I think he's very fit, which helps obviously in that DCM role. I think he's had a lot of good players around him at Bournemouth, but I do think he's been highly underrated in that team. I think we're just talking about Meslier. I think Adams has developed a heck of a lot more. I think his mid-range passing as well is definitely improved at Leeds United. And this is obviously manager encouraged, and Leeds played in zones, didn't they, under Jesse Marsh? But I think his mid to long term, long range passing, I should say, has got a lot better, which I think is an addition to his game, and is a very big sort of tick point from Iriola, who's developed him as a player there, definitely. So now he's a bit more of a problem, I think, coming to Leeds United at the weekend. Whereas beforehand, I'd have said, look, he's just a destroyer. If we can bypass him and we've got a reasonably decent sort of advanced number 8 or a 10, you can get past Tyler Adams in that role. But obviously, you don't have that with Leeds now, and this is why we might find a few problems at the weekend. The fact that they're very good defensively and very good at going forward, in my opinion, especially in that midfield bracket. They can defend very well the ball going into the centre forward, but they can defend the ball exceptionally well from the front as well. They're just a good, well-rounded team. But Tyler Adams, I found the quote interesting again. It's going round again, but he mentioned Leeds being a blue-collar club. But then he mentioned about the fans at the end, and this is always the quote that stuck with Tyler Adams, where he said, but I couldn't care less what they think. And I think if he was to go back now, the context of it with Adams was he was basically discussing when things aren't going well, it's a team and it's a city built off hard work. It's blue collar, which he's not wrong. I resonate with those fans unbelievably well to this day. This is when he left. Whether they hate me or not, I couldn't care less. And I think that I couldn't care less was taken out of context by a lot of Leeds fans. I remember it being put out there on the ether, on the Twitter sphere, and F him and F this. But I do think it's so interesting with Adams because he will start at the weekend. I think in a game of which doesn't really have much bite, have much needle, if Tyler Adams is to put a big tackle in on one of our players, or if Ampadu's to just go and hit him and put in a really good tackle on Tyler Adams, I think suddenly the Leeds fans are going to, not that they won't be already, but they're going to rise in volume. I think he is going to be a little bit of a litmus for Leeds United fans at the weekend. I think they're going to, I guess I want your guys' opinion. My opinion is there's going to be a bit of booze for him. But I think if there is some sort of altercation between him and a Leeds player, I think that's just going to spark Leeds fans. I actually think that'll be the best thing for Leeds fans, or the best things for Leeds at the weekend, because Leeds are going to need the crowd, because this team are a very, very good team. But if Tyler Adams is to put in a tackle like we know Adams does, or if Ampadu's to put one in on him, I think that's going to absolutely stoke up the Leeds United fans. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree with that? In essence, not bothered about Adams. I don't think he fully left on bad terms. Wasn't a silly situation. Ampadu more rounded, in my opinion. Injury-prone Tyler Adams, it was average at best at Leeds. Hope we move on. Tyler Adams was good. Adams was shite. God, this is what I mean. There's so much different opinion in here. Come on, Connor. At the time, you were a big fan of Adams. Me too, by the way. He's a class. Bob, I don't think I was. Mate. I think I said. I think I was a fan of it. Maybe you remember more than I do, mate. I think at the time I was quite 50-50 on him. I think I was very much a fan of him being that breaker up of play, that destroyer in the CDM role. I don't think I was too up on him. I don't think I was as up on him as I am on Ampadu, put it that way. But I wasn't as up on Phillips as the rest of the Leeds fan base, really. I don't think I was. There's elements of Phillips' game that annoyed me a bit, but Ampadu is my favourite by a country mile. I think Ampadu is. Some subscribers said it there as well. I think Ampadu is way more well-rounded than both of them, if I'm honest with you. I think Adams was better than we expected him to be. Ampadu's a fantastic player, very underrated. Would agree with that. Adams was good, injury prone like Cine. Yeah, good point. Lenz has said as well. sort of the game Adams likes, though. Unfortunately, that's what I mean. I think it's a game Ampadu loves as well. So I don't know if they're going to cross paths in that, because obviously one's a CDM, the other's kind of a CDM. But I think that will be, as has just been said here, it's going to be the lightning rod. In my opinion, a lot of the players were part of the relegation squad. Where do you need to go? Toward the goal. Go through the center of the park. Am I wrong? It's like, oh God, Jesse, you need to manipulate space, my friend. I personally think Adams was a good player. I think his ability on the ball isn't great. Injury stopped him. He definitely was a fan favorite, mate. Yeah, and Kyle says, you always did say that Adams doesn't have a good passing range. And Lodi says Connor wasn't a fan of Adams. He preferred Rocker. Do you know what it was with Rocker? It got to a point with Rocker where I just knew it was winding people up. Rocker wouldn't play, and I'd be like, yeah, Rocker, just get him back in there. Top class. Anyway, let's move on. Anton Stach has got an EA26 Team of the Week, picked by Troy Deeney. Isn't that great? His first little accolade at Leeds United, but I think it's more than that. I think obviously at this moment in time, he's one of the biggest chance creators in the Premier League. He's going to be really big this week, and he's got a task because he's directly going to be coming up against Alex Scott, Tyler Adams in the midfield, Tavernier, obviously Leeds fan Tavernier as well. But there's going to be a really good midfield dynamic in there for Bournemouth, of which they move it quick, incisive, and very potently. It's going to be important for Anton Stach to be a disruptor in there, but also be a creator. I thought at the weekend, Ampadu facilitated, this is what I'm talking about, he facilitated Stach to really not worry too much about the brings up, and I don't know if you guys watched the Forest game last night against Real Betis, but it probably brings up the game last night against Real Betis, but it probably brings up the brilliant signing and the worries that we had last year about Junior Firpo being reintroduced to the Premier League and the positional problems. And in my opinion, when it came to Junior Firpo, maybe the 1v1 defending, the space that he gives attackers to run at him, which I think was always a bit of a problem, which, you know, encompasses positional problem. We all saw that in the Premier League. He went both. There were question marks above them being Premier League caliber players. Starting Premier League caliber players, big question marks. Is starting Premier League caliber players, big question marks. Exact same question mark was there for Junior Firpo. Some people would have said bizarre. We're mid and OBS has just dropped loads of frames. This has literally never happened. This is a brand new one. Hold on, hopefully I can fix this. I've never seen this. Ever. I don't know if you can even hear me. This is what on earth is going on. Yeah, I don't want to restart OBS. I don't want to restart OBS. That's my problem. Are we back? We're on green. We're on green now. Are we? Sorry, I don't know what the hell went on there. Are we back? When did I stop? What on earth went on there? I'm so sorry about that. We're back on green. Okay, internet. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. I think I'm back. I don't know. I'm all green. I'm not back. Right. Great. He ain't back. Right. Okay, now we're on full green and I'm not back. This is bizarre. Look. Look. Yeah, it's struggling. I just don't know if I'm moving enough. Hold on, let me have a look. I look like I'm fine. I can see mine here. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Great. Okay. Sorry about. Can one of you guys let me know where we stopped? Where we stopped? Let me know. Someone just let me know where we stopped, guys, and we will put in the timestamps. If you have just watched this, I'll clip this bit out. This. I'm sorry for that. I don't know what the hell that was about. I've never experienced that on OBS, so there we go. That was new. Thank you. Last bullet. Appreciate your comment as well. Let me know where we stopped. So I think we stopped talking about. Firpo. Did we start with Firpo or did it start lagging out like halfway in? Let us know. Was going for about 5 minutes, apparently. All systems go. Okay, good. All good for now. I'm back. Yeah, so good stuff. I'm going to start over on Junior Firpo again. Right, so Junior Firpo, everybody. We're going to start here again. You were just about to say how much you love Mark Rocker. Bob, you twat. Told lad, thanks for the £4 as well. Right, let's go again. Junior Firpo played last night. We'll keep this dead simple. Up against Nottingham Forest. And I was worrying with Junior for many years in the Premier League about his basically leaving space open, allowing attackers to go 1v1 against him. This was happening, I thought, a little bit too much last night in the game that he was playing up against Morgan Gibbs White. Now, this gives me a lot of almost like reassurance with Gabby Goodmanson, because I think defensively Gabby has been unreal, and it just gives me that assurance that Leeds United going out and getting Gabby Goodmanson was the right move, was an unbelievable move for Leeds United, because I was watching Junior Firpo last night, pipe bomb. I look at him and I think, still, even though you've had a mixed start in La Liga, you know, a decent start, but then the last couple of games not been great. The Spanish media, he was hooked at half-time, which is brutal, was hooked at half-time, and the Spanish media, some of them were giving him 2 out of 10s, 1 out of 10s, 3 out of 10s last night. And I looked at him against the Premier League side last night, and I thought, ooh, would we have faced that again? I think Goodmanson's so good at closing the space. I think he's so good at being a problem for the winger and the fullback as well, just over the shoulder. Really impressed with him so far. There's not been a single game of which I've looked at with Gabby Goodmanson and thought that's been a bad move. Moving on, Junior Firpo for Gabby Goodmanson. And I think the big thing, everybody, is Goodmanson's been playing Ligue 1 for Lille, a very good team in the French league for a long period of time now. And I think that's very, very important coming up against top-class wingers week in, week out. Firpo stinker and hooked. Yeah, mate. Good to see you in here, NFFC. Good to see you in here, buddy. But yeah, guys, I just think, I mean, yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit more. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about Gabby out there. But yeah, not Gabby, sorry, Junior out there. But it felt like it was a brilliant signing in terms of Gabby Goodmanson over Junior Firpo. And I do wonder, it made me wonder last night, would he have been able to cope in the Premier League? Again, coming up against the Premier League side and struggling with the pace, I thought out wide anyway. Cycling, Fox says, I think we criminally underrated Rasmus. I'm not sure about that, mate. The own goal was a bad turn, but an unlucky one. But it's those things that just catch you out, mate, in the Premier League. Goodmanson is better in every aspect. I think he's better going forward. I think he is as well, mate. I think he's got less of a heavy touch lens. I don't know if you agree with that. I think he's got less of a heavy touch. I think he gets into that. So we saw it the weekend, didn't we? He gets into that inverted middle bit and he is able to keep the ball close to him. And I always think with Goodmanson, if he's going to lose the ball, he's going to get a foul. And that's a really brilliant trait to have in the Premier League, I think. Okay. Right. Villa fans aren't happy with him. Apparently, I saw a couple of tweets yesterday saying in 2025, how the hell is Emi Buendia starting for Aston Villa? Now, they're all right with him at the very beginning of the season. I'm sure if he scores a goal and gets a couple of assists, this could be a problem. There was reports this morning suggesting that he might, again, Emi Buendia, be open to a move in January. Obviously, Harvey Elliott's there, isn't he? Morgan Rogers is there as well, essentially occupying his position, if you are to look at it like that, depending on where they do actually play Harvey Elliott, which I think his best position is centrally, for me anyway. I think he can really impact the game there with once again his close control and his really good balance and agility and his ball striking, Harvey Elliott. But Morgan Rogers obviously is a little bit of a problem in terms of Buendia's, positioning, I guess. But apparently reports are suggesting this morning that he could be open for a move in January. Villa fans aren't happy with him. I just kind of get to this point with Emi Buendia where I'm like, is the hype all worth it? Like, is the hype? You know what I mean? Am I gonna be 35 and we're eventually gonna get Emi Buendia? We're just rumoured with him, and we have been rumoured with him for 5 years. I just think to myself, with Leeds, could they be bigger and better out there? Or for this January swoop that everybody keeps talking about, could there be a better potential player than someone like Emi Buendia? I probably would prefer someone like, well, if I'm honest with you, Harry Wilson, just because he can cover 2 positions and he's a very good set piece taker. I'm just not sure about Emi Buendia. I don't know. Josh says, birthday tomorrow. Hoping Leeds get the 3 points on day as a late present. Well, happy birthday to you, Josh. Happy birthday, mate. And great to see you in here, buddy. And guess what, Josh? My birthday is in a week, mate. 3rd of October. So if you're not all in here wishing me happy birthday, and if we have got to 50K by the 3rd of October, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? That would be amazing. But happy birthday to Josh. Can we get happy birthday to Josh in the chat, everybody? That would be great to see as well. Gabby's far better, in my opinion, says Deck. We could get forward and defend really well. Give me Gabby any day of the week and twice on a Saturday. Yeah, definitely. GG is more controlled, agree. Buendia hasn't played much or well. Big wages. I'd stay clear. Yeah, me too. I think we could still make a deal with Sheffield United that we could swap Peru for Hamer. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Sunderland, Lee says, against Sunderland, Buendia was poor, but he was in a poor Villa team. Connor's 40 next week, everybody. Should I hide user? I don't know. Should I hide user? Look, I told you we're going to get onto him. Calvin Phillips. Pep has mentioned a couple of things about him earlier on. Well, it was actually yesterday. So he actually mentioned Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds, which was quite interesting. He said that Calvin struggled for game time at Manchester City. And look, when you look at his competitive minutes, I mean, someone said he played last night. Did Phillips play last night? Phillips play last night. He was an 83rd minute substitute as City beat Carabao Cup. Good Lord. Pep said that play and help us. He's been offered a sort of helpline by Pep Guardiola, but yeah, he was given 7 minutes against Huddersfield in a 2-0 win. Our career has gone down, man. Our career has gone down. But yeah, Pep said the other day that we can play completely different to Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United, and I feel very bad for Calvin that he hasn't got the minutes. Obviously, he didn't get his move to Ipswich because those chances were killed because of an Achilles injury, but he's not started. I believe this is a stat. You guys can maybe tell me in the comment section below, but I believe he's not started a competitive game for Manchester City, and obviously there's been loans there as well for 2 years, and now we're kind of looking at a period where Rodri, Nico Gonzalez, Bernardo Silva, if he wanted to play deeper, probably some defenders as well, are still ahead of him. It is just a career that has just never taken off. A career that has been a product and a problem product of Marcelo Bielsa. And I don't think he'll ever recover, Phillips, with the injuries and with just not been able to get to those heights again. I thought he looked good in the second half of the season for Ipswich. I thought he looked good in the second half of the season for him next to Jens Kjust, but it wasn't enough. He still wasn't mobile enough, and there's still those injuries. So 645 days not started. Didn't think he'd be back in a City shirt just for him. I hope it work out, but he's far from the player he was. No more talk about KP. He's done. Agreed, mate, but he always comes back, doesn't he? Okay, guys, well, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hope you've enjoyed this. Slap a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to One Leeds as well. We're nearly there, everybody. Thank you so much for your support, all of you, every single morning. You're an absolute pleasure to be around. We'll be back tomorrow, but stay on the channel. Make sure, once again, you've got your notification bell switched on, because it might be once again a little bit of a different format tomorrow. We're going to be back in full swing at 10 a.m. every single day next week, everybody. But this week's just been a bit turbulent with stuff that's been going on, bit of freelance work for myself, etc., etc. Right, guys, it's been absolutely